everybody, I'm Sam Imhoff. My company is called Kennett, Handyman and Remodeling. We're based in Wilmington, Delaware, and we service all nearby areas. Our company is focused primarily on providing mid-range remodeling services to clients, residential remodeling, and we also do handyman and tidy-up projects as well, which I can unpack a little bit later for you. In this section, I want to talk to you specifically about our process, and our process really consists of 5 main pillars that I have up on the screen here. It starts with design. Now, in certain projects, we don't necessarily use design. One of the most important things about design is the fact that it's not just a flair thing, so you can look at beautiful designs, but it's also an important risk mitigator. When we go into a home, we document the space. It allows us to get to know the space. How many times have you heard a contractor say, well, we don't know what we're getting into until we get into it? Well, I say that's bunk. So the design phase for us is a chance to gather information about the house and have a better idea of what we are going to be dealing with when we do the remodel. The next part of our process is what we call selection, and that's our fancy designer word for picking things out. Okay? Generally what I do with most clients is we will actually go to the supply stores with them, help them pick the granite, the tile, walk the showroom floor with them. That way we can ensure together that we're getting the right elements of the project at the right budget as well. Once we have the budgeting, selection, and design done, then that we can go to an agreement. And at the agreement stage, to me, that's like when everything is all wrapped up and the play is all rehearsed and everything's ready to go. And we have the opportunity, I always say at that point, to be successful with the project. We've done what we need to do on the preliminary side to go ahead and be successful. The next step in our process is preparation. Preparation is the one step, I think, in most remodeling processes. And preparation what we're doing there is we're talking about how are we going to live with the family? What bathrooms are going to be used during the project? What about security? What about pets? What about family members? When do they come and go? A lot of remodels that I do can go upwards of 1 to 2 months in length, so we are living with the family. It's extremely important, not just for the trust relationship we have, but also for just everyone's sanity during a project, that those things are discussed in the preparation phase. And then lastly, we have the production, which is actually doing the sticks and bricks, the actual construction. So what I'm going to do for you now is just quickly unpack each one of these elements of our process and give you an idea of what they mean in a little more detail. So the first one is design. And again, design to me is all about documenting the space, knowing what we're dealing with, where are the air vents. Is the client left or right-handed? That helps us identify where to place outlets, for example. A lot of things that you may not think of during a remodel. But mainly, again, I think it's a risk mitigator. As I go in and I document where everything is and where everything might go, that gives me an opportunity to not make mistakes when we go to construction. It also allows me to show a client, this is what your new kitchen's going to look like when you come through the French doors from the deck. And it also allows me to show them, this is what it's going to look like when you come through your front door and you walk into your home. Is this, what you want to see? So the 3D capability is very helpful. We can go from a floor plan to a full 3D, and we can almost walk around the room and see if it's meeting our needs. We have enough space for cooking. Is the sink in the right place, and that sort of thing. So design is a very important element, but the one takeaway that I want you to take from this is that it's not just about the flair, it's about risk mitigation, making sure the project flows smoothly once it's in construction. The selection phase, as I mentioned before, is where we pick things out. You can see in the photographs, we actually go to the stores, we actually look at the flooring, the cabinet, the colors, the paint colors, the granite, and all those types of things that are going to go into this project. And our goal is to take our time and be thorough at that stage, and when we actually place those items in the finished space, that it's what we wanted all along. In most cases, if you follow this very carefully, you will get exactly the result or better than you expected, and you'll also do it on budget. The next step is budget and agreement. And again, we've done our time in the showroom. We know what products, we know what materials that we're going to be specifying. That helped us determine the actual cost, because with my clients, I can do a $5,000 bathroom and I can do a $55,000 bathroom. It really depends on what the goal is for the client. We've also, as I mentioned several times, we've mitigated risk. That's very important. The reason I keep talking about that is because I've had too many friends come to me and say, well, we started working with a contractor, but this went wrong and that went wrong, and the budget was twice as much and it took twice as long. So again, the process eliminates these types of risks happening. Most importantly, you having a bad experience with a contractor in your home. And then finally, we're ready to be successful at this point because we've got everything mapped out. We know together what we're doing. We've been working together the whole time. And that's setting us up to be successful with the project. Okay? Preparation and production. I mentioned this also earlier. Many times I talk to clients and they say, wow, no one did put dust protection down on my home. In our case, we even try to take material out of the air by creating negative pressure in the rooms using fans that pull all of the dirt out during construction. So it's very important, I think, if you look at this picture of the tile that we're putting on, or more importantly, when you're doing demolition, this cast iron tub concrete tile walls weighed about 1,400 pounds. It has to be broken up by hand and hand carried in bags down the stairs, out the door, along the sidewalk, down the driveway, and to the truck to be dumped. So there's an opportunity for dust, debris, and dirt to go everywhere, and on these beautiful hardwood floors, that can't happen. So it's very, very important. The other element of preparation and production, again, like a theater play, when the curtain comes up for the play, we want to make sure that we know our lines and that we know where we're supposed to be standing on the stage. And that means that the project will flow smoothly and that the trust and good communication in the project will continue. Okay, so to cap things off, again, I just went through our process. When you hire our firm, this is what you can count on. Much like a baker, any good chef, what do? They follow a recipe. They follow a process. Why? Because it provides a predictable outcome. Now, remodeling and predictability are generally not put in the same categories, but I would say it's mostly because many companies, don't have a process. When people from out of my area call me and tell me, hey Sam, I'm doing my kitchen, what should I do? The advice I always give them is when you're interviewing potential remodeling contractors, ask them what their process is. If they look at you with a blank stare, you don't want to hire them. That's just what you're going to get every step of the project. So again, design, selection leads to budgeting and agreement. Then we prepare for the remodel, how we're going to live with the family, you, your pets, and then the production, the actual sticks and bricks. And we follow this process because it eliminates risk and allows a predictable outcome.